but I'll eat you.
You calling me a liar?
What do you think, I'm fucking stupid?
Yo, man, no, don't get loud.
Sorry, we really have to go. I gotta get him home.
Our movie begins at a high school. Hal introduces LouAnne to the vice principal, Carla, for the job position. Despite LouAnne's lack of teaching experience, Carla hires her on the spot. She even asks her to start today. That is because more than one teacher has fled from that classroom, as the students there are the most dangerous in the city. Will LouAnne be able to keep them under control or not? Before answering that and diving into today's movie, subscribe to the channel. LouAnne accepts the job, and Hal takes her to see her new classroom. The moment she walks in, she feels like she is walking into a prison. The students are delinquents and bullies. None of them even care that she has entered. When she asks them about their previous teacher, they tell her that he couldn't deal with them and fled. LouAnne tries to act cool, but Emilio, the class leader, begins to bully her, so she gathers her things and leaves. The moment she gets out, she confronts Hal and holds him responsible. She lashes out at him for not warning her about the kind of students she would be facing, but he advises her to quit if she can't control them. LouAnne spends the whole night buried in education books, thinking of a way to capture the attention of those rowdy students. The next day, we see her at the school with a totally new look and a different personality. She looks nothing like the timid teacher from yesterday. She starts asking them about karate, even though it has nothing to do with her actual curriculum and her strategy really works. Two of the students take an interest in karate and get up to spar with each other. It is not real karate, they are just joking around, but she successfully got them interested in what she was saying. The next day, LouAnne tries to delve deeper into the curriculum, but they only want to learn karate. When she refuses and begins her lesson, she finds that they fall back into their state of total indifference. But she is incredibly clever. She begins to explain the rules of the program using catchy phrases just to get them to actually listen. However, her plan backfires a bit until the student Callie begins discussing the curriculum with her. At that moment, more than one student joins the conversation. During the discussion, the vice principal interrupts them and asks LouAnne to meet with the principal. The principal is upset because she is teaching karate to the students, which, of course, goes against school policy. However, the fact that the students are learning absolutely nothing seems to be perfectly fine with school policy. Although LouAnne explains that this is the only way they will listen, he dismisses her and demands that she stick to the system. The next day, LouAnne tries a new reward-based approach. Any student who focuses and answers correctly, or even tries to answer, gets chocolate. After that, she begins talking to them about poetry. She hands them poems and even gives them an assignment, promising that whoever completes it will go on a trip to the amusement park. All the students get excited and begin to celebrate, except for Emilio, who stands up and yells at them, calling them fools for believing her. Before LouAnne can answer, the bell rings. Before leaving, Callie goes to talk to LouAnne. She tells her that if she wants the whole class on her side, she has to win Emilio over to her team. The next day, the students are remarkably quiet. They are reading the lines of poetry she handed them. This is the first time they have been this calm in a very long time. Every student begins to participate with her, except for Emilio, who continues to be unpleasant toward her. During the break, Emilio gets into a fight with Raul, but LouAnne separates them and warns them about expulsion. Raul listens to her and walks away, but Emilio throws her a spiteful look and leaves. His girlfriend Angela tells LouAnne to stay out of their business from now on. Unfortunately, LouAnne's threat leads to nothing, because they meet after school and start fighting, to the point that the police arrive and take them away. LouAnne goes to scold Raul because he promised her to stay out of trouble, but he felt he had to do it so no one would call him a coward. Afterward, she goes to talk to Emilio to find out the cause of the trouble. He coldly tells her that he beat them up simply because he likes beating people up. When LouAnne tries to offer him help, he refuses. He tells her that his poor, broken family couldn't help him, so there is no way she can. LouAnne decides to take action. She goes to look for the students' files to find out their addresses. She visits Raul's house first. Raul is terrified that she will complain about him and that his family will punish him severely, but he is surprised when she tells them that he was not the cause of the trouble. She asks them to forgive him because he is a good student. At that moment, he and his family are left in total shock. but they end up being very happy. LouAnne goes to school the next day, only to discover that the students are upset with her because she reported Raul and Emilio and caused them to be sent to the police station. LouAnne's expression changes. She loses her temper and gives them two options. The first is to stay and listen to her. The second is to walk out of the classroom and forget about success. She tells them that the poverty they live in is not the reason for their failure and that they can choose to be better. The strange thing is that Emilio begins to trust her. That is because he found out that she went to his friend's parents and spoke highly of them. LouAnne decides to take them to the amusement park as promised. Everyone is having a great time with her. Actually, I will stop here and ask you two questions. First, do you think these are the kind of students who would be made happy by a trip to an amusement park? Second, why haven't you subscribed to the channel yet? The next day, LouAnne organizes a contest at the school. She tells them that whoever wins will get to go out to dinner with her. We notice that the students have truly changed. They have started to care about the curriculum. They even go to the library to conduct research, and LouAnne notices the results of this hard work in their assignments. The next day, she announces the contest results. Raul wins along with Callie and another student. To make sure the rest of the students don't feel left out, she opens a large box full of gifts and asks them to choose their own presents. After class ends, Callie comes to apologize for missing the dinner because she has to work. LouAnne accepts and promises to bring dinner to her workplace at night. LouAnne is surprised that only Raul shows up because their third friend also has work. The two go to an expensive restaurant. There, LouAnne teaches him how to treat people with respect, but he tells her something that upsets her. He won't be coming to school for a while because he is forced to go to work to give money to the person he bought his jacket from. He tells her he must pay $200 and that if he doesn't, that person might kill him. LouAnne offers him a $200 loan. Although he refuses at first, he finally accepts, especially because LouAnne tells him he can pay her back when he graduates. After dinner ends, she goes to get food and takes it to Callie at her workplace, just as promised. LouAnne tells her she is a very hard-working student with a bright future, but Callie shocks her by telling her she is transferring from the school. She is going to a care center because she is pregnant, and the school won't allow her to stay. The next day, she is surprised that her third classmate, Daryl, missed school. Then she begins trying to raise the students' morale. Afterwards, she goes to meet with Carla to ask about Callie. She tells her that the student is talented and they shouldn't let her future go to waste. But Carla explains that these are educational policies over which she has no control. LouAnne promises her that she will send a letter to the Board of Education to protest against their regulations. Later, she discovers that this law does not come from the Board of Education and that the school is the one suggesting it, so that pregnant girls can focus on their children because it is supposedly better for them. When LouAnne realizes this is not a mandatory decision, she goes to meet with Callie to inform her. She tells her it is her right to choose between education or the care center, but Callie remains hesitant. The next day, she visits Darrell and his brother because they stopped coming to school. There, their mother gives her a cold reception. It bothers her that her son has started caring about poetry and such empty things at school. We see Angela's ex-boyfriend. He has just been released from prison. He goes to threaten Emilio to stay away from her. When Emilio refuses, he threatens to kill him. Angela asks Emilio to seek help from anyone, but he refuses and decides to handle it on his own. However, LouAnne arrives and Angela tells her everything. LouAnne asks him to go hide with her at her house, but Emilio refuses and is determined to kill him before he gets killed. In the end, Emilio agrees and goes home with her. She tries to find out who is threatening him so she can report it to the principal and have them intervene. But Emilio refuses to say anything. The next day, she wakes up and discovers that Emilio is gone. When she goes to ask about him at school, the principal informs her that he was there, but he kicked him out because he didn't knock on the door before entering. LouAnne gets incredibly angry with the principal because Emilio needed help and his life was at stake. After a short while, the bad news arrives. The police found Emilio shot dead near the school fence. Unfortunately, Emilio is dead. LouAnne enters the classroom in a state of grief and informs all his friends. The next day, she tells them that this is her last term with them because she cannot continue at the school after all these events. All the students are upset, especially Raul, who fears his academic standing will be affected. But she convinces him that he is a hardworking student and doesn't need her for his grades to improve. The next day, she enters the classroom. She is surprised by Callie, who who decided to continue with her education. We learn that she returned specifically to convince LouAnne to stay with them. Even Raul begins reciting poetry to her to persuade her not to give up and to stay with them. All the students cheer her on, and one of them jokingly threatens to tie her to the chair so she will stay. LouAnne is overjoyed to have made an impact on them in the end. She agrees to stay with them. They spend the rest of the time dancing, and our movie ends here.